And that's usually the invade, a very scary moment to want to take against a highly mechanical team like Immortals, since those are so prevalent in the early game. Looking at picks and bans now, the Azir goes out to the wayside. Supportish bans coming in from Tip, the John of the Lulu. Also, that's TF for Pole Belter.
You can see here, Kalista still on the table.
Yeah. Kalista, Gangplank, Nautilus. A lot of the things we usually see banned out here. Not as much so Nautilus recently.
Yep. Corki's still
all right.
Corki's still up, so these are high presence champions. Corki, Poppy, Gragas, all available right now. But the Kalista for MASH, looking back on it, he's gotten it one
The energy win.
time.
Yeah.
And 2 times. So 1 is a win, 1 is a loss, but it's enabled Gate to engage fights, and actually, if they do get that lead, they're able to force it, close it out, and continue to throw Gate in there. Because MASH is actually the shot caller of the squad.
Yep. Which is actually a pretty difficult thing for an AD carry.
Oh, yeah.
Usually as an AD carry, you want to be able to focus. Your support is your eyes and ears for the most part of it. So he takes a pretty big burden on his shoulders with that. Pyrion already locking in the Braum, keeping, MASH safe with Fang's pickup of Kalista. And waiting for Proxy. Actually going to be locking in the Elise, so he does decide to stick with that. They can protect Kalista pretty well here, and also get a little bit of an engage out of Gate's Braum here.
So we're basically going down the tier list now. Will Adrian play the new Soraka? And if he does, is he maxing Q first? There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. Jhin for Wild Turtle would be interesting. He likes to dive in. Wild Turtle has been favoring things like Lucian. And, oh man.
Karma Jhin.
Okay, okay. Karma from Adrian yesterday, where he went 1, 2, and 13 on it. And Jhin for Wild Turtle. So a lot of movement speed to enable Wild Turtle. If he crits, he's going to have even more.
Yeah.
It's a double AD composition.
Technically, that Karma's with him, with Huni already grabbing that Corki to go into the mid lane for Pole Belter. Technically.
Yeah, that's true. It could be.
So he'll have speed right out of that lane and shields if they want to try to go hard. Ahri could be locked in here on the side of Pyrion. We haven't seen too much play of that as of late. Whereas Lux's, a few other ones, LeBlanc's has been banned out, so you won't be seeing that.
And this is going to be a last pick top lane for Immortals here, and counter picking for Huni, which is typically what they've done to see success. Malphite.
Bringing the rock back, all right. So definitely a lot of engage here. They basically have 2 Malphite ultimates within this composition now, with the ultimate from Kalista and the Unstoppable Force.
Yeah, and then Braum can also ultimate as well. So they have
the
many ways
Fisher
to engage, pick, control some zones, both with the gravity field as well as throwing down the Braum ultimate. Victor did receive a nerf in 6.4, and that's why we've seen him fall off. His wave clear, his death ray, took a hit to its base damage, which actually affects both parts when it's upgraded as well. So his wave clear, honestly, not as effective. You have to be really ahead of the curve to even just clear out casters with the gold that you have very early on.
Yep.
Which was Victor's selling point. Now he has to E and then auto attack all of them down.
The Mundo, is this where Huni goes back to Lee Sin top lane?
Oh, there's a lot open here. He loves to play Echo into Malphite. We've seen it before.
They have quite a bit of AP if they do that, so they stick with it. No worries to them. AP in just about every lane besides that turtle one. And they are going to be coming out with a composition that says, we will be fighting you when we get the chance.
He loves to play Echo into tank. So he's played it against Liquid's Maokai, and now he's going to play it into the Malphite and see if he has an advantage there. Of course, nobody else really playing that top lane Echo, but Immortals on red side are extremely dominant because Huni gets a favorable matchup. You know he's going to win that top lane based off his champion pool and what he likes to play into these matchups, and knows them incredibly well. So Reignover gets to pretty much choose, what do I do with Pole Belter, or do I camp this bit lane at bottom, or do I make the favorable matchup top even worse, right? Pretty much rule of thumb for junglers, if you have an advantage, you should push it. So people say don't camp a losing lane. Means go to a lane that is going to just wreck your opponent.
Yep.
And we'll see where Rainover chooses to go. I assume it's going to be that top lane.
We usually
try to punish Fang
if
on
we
that
go by
top fight.
statistics, we'll be keeping our eyes up top. So 2 teams enter, 1 team leaves, or just goes home. Vote for your favorite team to win by tweeting at LOL Esports with hashtag TIPWin or hashtag IMTWin. And we'll tally those up as we get into the matchup. Our 3rd game of the day here, Week 9, Day 2. It's kind of crazy the split has gone this fast. And we've seen teams with ups, downs. Immortals trying to get the highest win rate here. Tip trying to keep an 8th place spot alive to go into the promotion tournament and get a better matchup. We'll see what happens for both teams. We are on the Rift.
Yeah, if TIP win, then they secure 8th place for themselves because Renegades and Dignitas cannot catch them.
Right.
And they don't have to play a tiebreaker. If Immortals win, they walk away with that record, 94.4% win rate. Highest win rate at the end of a split for North American LCS.
Yep. That only falter against CLG just 2 weeks ago today.
And that would make Huni and Rainover over 2 splits, only losing 1 game in the regular season.
That's pretty crazy.
It's insane. People talk about how volatile best of 1s are and anything can happen. Well, anything can happen because they lost 1 game.
That's true.
Out of, what is it, 36.
Yeah.
35-1 in their last 2 splits in regular season play.
The anything definitely
If they win
leans towards a win. It's almost a double-sided coin.
Minions have spawned.
They're staying very far away from any wards that could have been placed. They didn't really have knowledge of anybody entering the jungle. But both teams, again, we saw this, or seeing this, I should say, a bit more twice today, where the deep wards haven't been placed, and it's a guessing game.
Yeah. If you're the defending team, like Immortals, and you think that you have a superior lane match up top with the Echo into Malphite,
Right.
then you fan out, make sure you know where they're coming into your jungle if they 5-man push in. I think it's actually a mistake by TIP to not try and invade. You
Kinda
have a
feel-
Braum.
test
You have,
the water.
Yeah, exactly. You have a Braum, so your early game is actually quite good when you invade.
Absolutely.
But forcing down those wards, getting position, and knowing, is the Malphite going to go into this Echo? Well, Immortals wanted that. Well, are you going to face a Jhin Karma? How many times have you played against a Jhin Karma lane? This matchup,
You know
I can
what?
almost guarantee
I haven't
it's
yet.
a little bit more.
And already, we can see how that synergy works. The Qs come out, the lockdown as well, and then they have free damage to put on. Gate's going to have to be using that Unbreakable quite a few times here in this lane to keep MASH alive. Adrian playing past the minions already with the threat of level 2 that they have in this lane. So already working out very well. Adrian, or I should say Wild Turtle already too in that case.
Fang doesn't get to play League of Legends until 3 minutes and 30 seconds. He gets to try to CS under his turret.
Yep. It really is a tough matchup. You throw the Q out, you're breaking his shield. 3rd hit is that full damage right on.
Yep.
With whatever armor ability power he would have to mitigate, or I should say magic resistance rather. So we'll see how well Fang can actually hold up here. 14-5 as these flow into the turret. Never a fun time for Malphite to get CS.
Yeah.
He should be okay.
He will be able to
once they
auto-attack
double
his
hit.
though.
Yeah.
We'll see in that bot side, though. Look at that CS advantage already across the map. There are minions underneath both the top laner and the bottom laner's turrets. But just
Them
this
up. Yep.
pretty much innate advantage from the lane matchups that they've selected for themselves on Immortals side. And they love to play through the lanes. They love to just pick winning matchups, and then that allows Rainover to go deeper into the jungle, make sure that his bottom lane has priority, your top lane has priority. And we've seen it time and time again where Rainover will go towards, right now, the Gromp or something like that, and be like, okay, well, Huni can always back me up if I get collapsed on because
Right.
he's always pushed up. He's always winning this matchup.
The synergy between them as well. It's almost an instant fight if they get there. Huni will want to take it. Rainover may be backing up with low health, but Huni's like, yes, I'll take this fight for you.
Yeah. And Pobelter's kind of the control as well. In terms of aggression, you would kind of nail Pobelter as the neutral person. Like, he's very adjustable. He can dive in. But they usually don't play to Pobelter. They give him wave clear mids like Lux, Corki.
Right.
But he can play things like Zed. His champion pool is incredibly large.
For sure. He's as well, I've said it a few times today, he's that enabler for the team. A TP coming in, and we are going to see that could play big problems here for Impulse. Huni wants to fight right away. Gates here trying to get himself out. Stand By Me gets him to a safe position.
That's First Blood, though.
Lock down Wild Turtle for First Blood.
Exactly. First Blood, they got both of his summoners out. Adrian couldn't help him at all. And he goes down, procs him with the gank, coming up big.
Looks like Huni, he's going for the long run back to the top side
He
here.
already used his TP, so he has to. And that's going to give Fang a little bit of time in this lane. And yeah, Huni doesn't even back. He just makes the trek straight through mid lane. Missing out on actually a pretty decently sized wave here, so check experience difference. Fang almost 5. Huni is going to get there. Right as all of his melee minions die, so not awful. Being able to pick up a decent amount of CS here.
It's one of the things we talked about, could it be within the first 4 or 5 minutes that the lead is gained? While it being a very small lead, really only a kill going over to Gate on that one, the assists to Proxin and Mash. Huni was able to get up to the top side, like you said, prevent the CS from going down. So overall, teleport wasted there and Turtle dead, but they don't lose too much. The CS is still pretty clear in the top lane and even. We were talking a little about Pobelter just a second ago, and you were saying he can play the aggressive things. We saw him on the TF as well. Good score lines across what he plays, obviously because the team's doing well, but those TFs aren't the initiations. He's not the first one to go into the bot lane. He's always following up with a gold card and stuff like that. Immortals usually has the fight already underway.
Yeah.
Makes it quite easy for the lanes.
Yeah, and you're talking about Twisted Fate and roaming. TIP have double TP, and Immortals have only Kunis, and it's down. So TIP have complete control of this bottom lane. Turtle with no summoner spells can get collapsed on, especially as this low mobility Jhin. So TIP actually have opportunities here to snowball even harder. As Feng approaches level 6, I assume that he would leave this lane and go for a dive and try to snowball pot, maybe pick up a dragon and a turret, but Pyrion can do the same.
He's looking bot lane for where any deep wards could be placed here on the side, or 4-tip, I should say.
Oh.
Proxin's going to revisit in the bot lane, knowing
he got in there without being saw.
Are down, and they are going to be able to take down Adrian. Standing off all willy-nilly on the side. No vision in the brush.
Proxin coming up huge this game, able to just walk straight up, and the reason they were able to do that is just Kalista is shoving that lane in over and over and over again, so he can't walk up and get wards down at all. So Adrian not able to place anything down. To see Proxin's approach from the river, from the lane, actually.
Yeah. Putting enough pressure onto Immortals to make them think about it for sure. They have still cover on where Rainover is now.
There's a ward behind Wild Turtle right now.
That's the ward we were looking for. It wasn't placed in the forward brush where they are now. It's placed behind it. And actually, there's a ping.
Boom!
There was a ping coming in from Immortals that they know.
Yep.
Pobelter almost getting his parade rain down in mid lane. He is safe from the Chaos Storm. Empyrean, though, however, knowing Rainover bot, all that scuffle went down, I could have some free time
This
with
might
Pobelter.
be a rain on Pyrian's parade. A rain over!
Boom! Back! Gets him! Tries to get the laser out, but he pops first. And Pyrian's aggression, the ult being down, he had to know. He could have been a target.
Yeah, playing to his winning lane. Look at the CS difference there. 20 up for Pobelter.
Right.
Try to make it worse and worse for Pyrian. Bottom lane, they can be collapsed on here. And you see Huni actually backs ulties back into lane. Feng actually getting chased down because of that. So he doesn't have to use that TP, and he gets to keep it. And now Rainover and Pobelter roamed.
Oh, is it going to be a shot? There's one going, about 100 HP for Fang. Very, very low. One more. Takes him down.
Playing through their winning lane in the mid lane, even though they expected to have their side lanes do it. Rainover adjusting. And then, Wild Turtle caught again.
Wild Turtle's like, this is my jungle, right? This is ours. But Tip has 2 members living in there. The turnaround damage, however, from the mantra damage coming from Adrian, able to save Turtle for a little bit longer. But the number is just getting too big here on the side of Tip. They add another member in Mash and come up with the kill.
And that's Tip being up 3-2, but still down 400 gold off of Immortals, clearing those top waves and proxying them, as well as that mid lane. So you can see the CS difference here working out in favor of Immortals. But, package immediately, and he tries to avoid the stun.
Package Valkyrie. Belter just came up from getting a kill in the top lane, comes back, pulls another one in the mid lane, and I think I stand corrected saying he doesn't use that TF to go aggro, play the 1v1s. He's using the Corki to go aggro and play some 1v1s.
Huni ulties back in.
Chrono break.
Tries to get the stun off. He was a little bit too short. And then Rainover and Pobelter.
Already in position.
They had already killed bot.
Right. You see this play was from when Huni was literally ulting. This was communicated when he hit there, when he started backing, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So the 8 seconds of the back was like, guys, I'm going to chrono break back if you want to start heading top. All placed in motion before he even went back.
Yeah, Immortals are really good at, they'll talk about what they want to do, and then once they accomplish that, they talk about what that opened up for them. So they ganked mid because it was a lane that was gankable, and then what did that give them in terms of options? Well, Wild Turtle's getting ganked right now. Rainover's on the side. It's a collapse from Immortals.
Turtle is getting so much focus from these Bash brothers in the bot lane of Impulse, but they are throwing themselves a little too close to the turret. That's about 4 shots for Mash, as he couldn't really get out any better way than that. Also trying to deny an assist coming in if he could. The kill goes to Mash, but they get Turtle at the same time, as Tip is loving this bot lane party.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to shut down Wild Turtle and get Mash fed. The first pick, Callista, 3-1 to 0-3 on this Jhin. They didn't. They went into this matchup blind in that lane swap, or lack of a lane swap. They didn't check for it. So Huni in that top lane gets the matchup he wants, and you can see the CS advantage there. But Mash, ulti, engages on Wild Turtle, knows he doesn't have a flash from the jungle invade they just had. Adrian walks up just in time, and stun goes off. That's actually a canceled TP. Huni's underneath the turret, and the ulti from Feng was used. And then Huni chases Feng down the lane, but doesn't get much for it. Proxin, though, looking for his 4th gank.
Oh!
He has flash. Is he going to follow?
No. A bit of a hot fin there. He gets out. Yeah, I see in that Wild Turtle instance, it's almost his captive audience gave him the false sense of security. He's like, I have traps all over. I'm good. Yeah, not good.
Yeah,
not good. Audition failed.
These will see them coming.
4-4, 11.5 in on this one. And Tip have actually done quite a bit of damage to what most teams have on Immortals at this point. Can they use it? Can they keep pushing? I mean, with it being somewhat even in the early, like you said, Immortals always find the CS. They find a 3K gold lead, the first turret on that top side.
Yep, winning matchups, and then they're always able to just kind of snowball off of superior laning phases and then group up afterwards with that advantage. And you were talking about how Immortals, when they look weak, it's because they didn't get a lead early off of their winning lanes. And that's where they falter when they group up. They don't have that advantage, but they still are able to pull out, honestly, like 8K gold leads from deficits just by Huni and Rainover finding the right fights.
Unfortunately, things are like when Huni teleports bot lane, he's up against a Malphite, not a wave clear. So we actually got to get that entire wave top. Usually would really hurt a top laner. We saw balls being behind last game and how much that actually affected the team. Somehow, Immortals always able to avoid those situations. Gate looking to get a little bit forward pressure on. Get the feelers out. What's going on? Send a message. Set up for Dragon. We'll see if they've given up a little too much of that message. And now they're going to be pushed off it themselves. And Fate's call to save Gate.
So TIP, they're doing much better in this game than they were in their previous game versus Immortals in week 1. Much, much better. It would have been over in about 5 minutes from now. Where Immortals, there's been a lot of talk about, this team is 15-1, or now 16-1.
Right.
But honestly, have they been looking like it's been a slightly downward trend for them? Right? Have they been falling off a little bit? They had a game where they were behind versus Renegades. They had games after that CLG loss where it was like, okay, well, is Energy going to give them a run around? Is Dignitas going to beat Immortals?
Right.
Right. There's been so many scares for Immortals right now to put a 2 in that loss column, and coming into playoffs and looking a little bit weaker each week.
Showing flaws to teams that they should not be showing flaws to, where it was very, very clean. And it's a mentality they kind of say, even if it's not we kind of don't take it seriously in that point, right? We didn't train as hard for that one. Even if you're kind of in that mentality and it keeps happening, then you don't know how to fix it because you really don't have the answer. And that may come in a best of 5 when you actually need all of that to come out clean and crisp.
Yeah, exactly. And people will make the argument that, this game doesn't really matter for Immortals since they've locked in the first seed already.
Right.
How hard are they really going to try? How hard are they really going to prep? Immortals performance coach, Robert Yip, always talks about how they will try every game as hard as they possibly can because you don't want to breed complacency with your players. You don't want them to basically say, okay, you know what, I'm content. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Right? Just always strive for a better performance. Always strive for being able to have consistency.
Yeah.
And Immortals, like I said, it's looking a little bit worse each week, just a little bit.
Right.
but it's enough every time. And Wild Turtle,
Wow, what a nice unstoppable force onto Adrian. They already had Turtle separated from the fight here. And here's the package from Pobelter. Is it enough, though? They focus on Fang and Prox on the backside. Huni is trying to fight the rest of the team, and they are able to assess the fight and put it in their favor. Fate's Call comes in, goes out with Gates Unbreakable up, which does save quite a bit. But Rainover's the tank under the turret. He flashes out just in time. Pobelter now. He doesn't see it enough. He wanted to kill first. The greed makes him bleed. Now it's on to Huni. Still has the ultimate up. No, he does not. That was just a shift from his phase dive. And he's good to go. Mash is out safe. Huni doesn't look like he's going for another dive, but what a back and forth catfight. From down the lane and under the turret.
Double TP there from TIP, using that advantage that they have from summoner spells. But Pobelter's already cheating to this side with the package, so he gets there right in the nick of time to make this fight a 4-for-4. Adrian immediately gets blown up, but they used a lot on him. The cast to separate and throw Proxen off to the side, so he has to use the repel to get back in. And then the separation there, keeping Wild Turtle alive a little bit longer, Pobelter's side. And then Huni and Pobelter are able to clean up a little bit here. But Mash with low HP, very afraid of the rockets coming through from Pobelter. The Gatling gun, almost enough. But the turret shot's a little too strong. And the stun and shield coming through for Huni as almost. If Mash had continued to auto-attack him, he may have gotten the stun off and more spears, but Huni did have a phase dive available.
That's true, that Winter's Bite could have come into play. Just out of range, Mash. Blue buff off of that, though. Continue to just crush down these waves from the bot lane without worry of his resource bar. A little breather now. Still 3K gold lead for Immortals. They were not able to drop that bottom turret as too many people got injured during the fight. Still looking to put their foot down, make plays, work in their favor. Huni back to the top lane. His teleport's down, so he'll look to stay there. But I wouldn't be surprised if Immortals still go for a 4 engage under the turret. With just these members. I lied. It's going to be a 3. Pobelter's mid.
Oh, nice call there. TIP, this is actually a decent amount of improvement from them, because normally when Huni goes roaming, he's able to just scare people off and just be there immediately. The smite on the Wolf Camp worked out really well.
Yeah, that could have been
the position. But look at that. Are they going to get him anyway?
They're still going to try, though.
They still force him off because nobody's coming to help him. And if they are, it's a little bit too late. Whereas bot side, you can see Proxen tried to go up to help Pyrion.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Rainover went bottom and made this a numbers advantage for a little bit before Proxen got back. So this turret's almost down. And an engage again.
Gates not in a good spot. Adrian's going to be finalized here. The shield almost saves him, but Proxen's able to get that kill in. Curtain call comes down. They're just going to hang out and watch the show from home.
Almost cheating it, bending that bullet around. I like that. Everybody just stood still because we're definitely able to underneath the turret. Going on the turtle!
Oh! Right over the shoulder of Rainover. He had no chance to get himself in position. And, well, Immortals thought they had the upper hand. They fall quickly to the play of Impulse.
Yeah, but at the same time in the top lane, Huni is just pushing this turret down.
Huni's being Huni?
Fang was on the bottom side. I don't know what Fang is doing there, but he's going to lose his top turret because of that.
Definitely not going down slow, that's for sure. He's had quite a few caster minions here just beasting down this turret. And he almost finds Pyrion on the way out. Huni, once again on this Echo, is always shown quite well.
Oh, we went back!
Goes down in that one. Oh, Huni, yeah, finally goes down. I didn't think he was going to go back in, but they went for the save onto Pobelter, or the I got your back, brother, and it didn't work out too well. Impulse, they're actually still forced to back here. You see how far Immortals was ahead in that. The lanes are pushed up past half, and even mid is just hanging out at half.
Yeah, it's rather sloppy play from Immortals for what we've known them to do.
Right.
Because they're usually counting members and saying, all right, numbers advantage here, numbers disadvantage here. We don't know where somebody is, so you mentally count that as wherever I go, there's a numbers advantage for that person, unless I bring enough numbers. So right there, they're like, okay, 2 people are missing, and they still collapsed on 1, where they didn't know where Proxen was, and they had Fang on that side. So it was essentially a 2-on-2 in the area, and then Proxen showed up, and there's a 3-on-2 because they used so many abilities to take out Pyrion in the first place. But you look at this game and you say, okay, Immortals, you know, oh, they're getting run around the map. They're getting kind of crushed, but they're 4 turrets up to 0.
Yeah.
And that's where this gold lead is coming from, is that, and even the CS numbers are getting a little bit closer, except for that mid lane. So TIP, they're definitely showing good performance here and some improvement, but Immortals are still just playing the map overall better than TIP. TIP need to get these structures down and find a way to not just play team fights, but to play the map afterwards and set up the map beforehand so you can maximize what those team fights give you.
Raptors cloak for Fang as he builds himself up. And Booney still pushing down in that lane. Fang going to have to respect that on this push. Teleports are up for those laners, but Pyrion also has his. So if they do try to pop Hooney with one of these, oh no, I was going to say deep ward, but that is actually Hooney's. They have a lot of vision in this blue jungle. Might have just been that reason they went so strong on the last play that got them in trouble. When you feel like you're ahead, sometimes you make plays that kind of make you fall behind.
So right now, the double TP of TIP, if it comes out again, Pobelter does have package available for the next minute. Picked it up and rushing down the mid lane. So if TIP actually delay the usage of their double TP and they try to make a play, it's actually highly advised to do so, because the last time they did, the package really saved that fight. Pobelter wouldn't have gotten there as fast because it provides out of combat movement speed, and then he wouldn't have been able to actually divide the fight up in the same way.
21 minutes, 4K in favor of Immortals going into this next fight and items. Across the board, that's a finalized Rod, Morello, Namakan by Hooney in the top lane already. Triforce, BF Sword, even more damage for Pobelter.
Here Pobelter goes. They're going to see him now, and he jumps in anyway.
He goes for Gate, actually pops him to the
TP.
right. This is almost good for them, so they can disengage on the other side. The move for Pobelter, he Valkyries away from Fang's very long, unstoppable force. Rainover looks like he could go down here, no safe. They actually give up on Rainover right away. Hooney, chrono shifts back. He's gonna have a lot more health to enter the fight, and they are just walking Tip back and forth. Tip can't find a target. They're only taking damage, and Immortals is gonna continue walking forward on this one. They lock up Pyrion. They take him down with the auto from Pobelter as he comes around, and a few more rockets. And two now have dropped. Mash and Pyrion are down. This turret should follow as well. Proxen very low mana. He's going to be locked down and taken down. No, the repel got him out. I thought he was going to fall in place and be popped, but he gets himself to safety. Still losing members left and right. Immortals have enough to take the turret down.
Exactly, and they only lost one member there. They lost Adrian. Wild Turtle sets up the curtain call mid-fight, and then TIP don't know what to do. They're focusing on dodging bullets while trying to chase Rainover, and Hooney went backwards, so they got split across, and they couldn't make a decision. They didn't really have enough gap closers left to get to Wild Turtle, because he would have just canceled and walked away, and still has his summoner spell intact. Let's watch that again. Package comes across, Gate ulties at the same time, so the knockback animation doesn't really mess him up too badly. This right here, Fang went after Pobelter.
Flash, okay.
When he could have actually held onto that for a bit and then used his ultimate on a cluster of people, but he forced the flash out of Pobelter. Right here, they don't have enough gap closers left. They don't have Malphite ultimate for Wild Turtle and Pobelter. They don't have Cocoon. They don't have ways to catch. And that auto attack right there follows after the flash. And yeah, that was just Wild Turtle and the rest of Immortals splitting that team up. TIP not quite using their ultimates to the best effect.
So, Shrop Portal placed just inside the blue. Adrian not liking his current situation.
Oh,
no way!
He's gonna get out!
No way! The focus on that kill. He was trying to keep Turtle off of Mash, but Mash actually needed the help of just the autos as well to apply the bite, to apply more passive. And now Mash is going to be in trouble. He's lost Gate, and Mash will go down as well. And the walk-up kill is going to be in for Rainover, just not working out for Impulse here on the few plays in the bot lane.
Adrian used his mantra W. It instantly heals you, and it gives you heal over time, and they weren't able to actually finalize that kill. He survives with the shield, and then he's able to pull that off. Mash doesn't get a reset on the Rend either. He used it too early because Adrian's burst of HP took him off guard.
Very tough when situations like that happen to stop you from solidifying a kill, because if it keeps happening, you want those more and more. And sometimes you put yourself in a very sticky situation just to get those kills. Impulse still has a chance to make a few happen on their own terms. Still looking for Fang to get a good unstoppable force. Something that splits Immortals up like Immortals have been splitting up Impulse, because these fights are always happening against 2 members of TIP and then the rest. They never have the 5 then.
Exactly. So engage here. It looks like Adrian's going to go down. Right here. Almost dead. Gets the heal from Turtle, and then he Mantra W's right there. Gets enough HP back to get another rotation on the shield. And at that point, Gate had already swapped targets because he was trying to get so much from that and get Wild Turtle on top of it. Curtain Call hits him at the tip. Mash.
Throwing one down
dodges,
to the homies.
It's admirable effort.
Pour it out.
Oh, Furion.
There's the ultimate, but it's an ultimate when your teammate goes down. That means you're trying to fight from the back foot here, and Fang just uses the unstoppable force and gets himself out. Immortals are going to have even more pressure around objectives or around a turret, but it's going to be that objective they choose first.
It's going to be the Baron here for Immortals, maximizing that kill and that chunk out on Empyrean. Double TP is available, but they know there's no Malphite ultimate, so Fang is eventually just an HP rock that shows up. And that's going to be 25-minute Baron for Immortals here. Back in this game, off of objective control, TIP have not gotten a dragon or a turret all game.
3, 1, and 3 for Huni in the top lane. 26 minutes, already 3 items. See this fight in mid.
Welter moves around. Gate soaking up so much, he just gets crit down. And then Wild Turtle with, oh, it's 2 kills actually.
Yep.
Gets the curtain call into the,
oh!
No! Okay.
Team blocks.
All right. Wait, why did I, there we go. Okay, okay, that's when he died.
That's
I was like, why am I going crazy over replay if he didn't die? Like, oh, yeah, he got him off screen with the
there's the ultimate.
with the deadly flourish. I know that one now.
Very true. So Baroned up minions now pressing down the mid lane. Took Immortals a little time to get a hold on it, and they can just keep pressuring. They've been being very methodic about it this game, kind of showing back where that strength comes from, where they say, we're not going to allow any team to kind of get under our skin and play, let us play any more lax. They are staying very composed this game. 2,500 on the Baron play, going up on 2,600 here. It looks like with the siege, they're going to have to wait on that one. Yep. It's a great minion to have, but he's also a little bugger.
Oh, Huni already got this turret, though, so it might just be 2 inhibitor turrets going down off of this Baron in the split push from Immortals.
So much pressure always comes from Immortals solo lanes. This is where they're able to really just make plays. Fate's calls, try and pull teams off, but they know now that engage is down, so they feel safe to stay on this inhibitor, and Immortals is really just using kind of scare tactics by standing there, getting tipped to blow some ultimates, getting tipped to blow some summoners as Immortals walks forward, and that's when you know you've sealed the deal. It's going to have to be a very big play by Impulse and large error by Immortals here to close this gold gap.
Yeah, it's going to have to be multiple ones, or they have to wait for a very long time.
It's one of those waves. Yeah, it's one of those time games. A few fights, crawl back, get your waves pushed.
This is the moment where we create parallel universes where crazy stuff happens. And then sometimes it does become this one. But TIP, 13,000 gold down.
Yeah.
And they have 1 inhibitor left. They have minions pushing into their base. And Immortals are just looking to close out this regular season.
Yep.
17-1 is their record. And that NA record of highest win rate, the end of the split.
Absolutely crazy. And doing it with different champions on the way out, too, for the last week. This is Turtle's first Jhin here on the LCS stage. Adrian brings out the Karma play, which he brought out yesterday as well. So they're showing those new things they talked about, and now they can back it up. But Ken Fang and the team back up the unstoppable force. The HP bars are not telling the same story. Immortals is running right over them. Huni with the phase dive. Huni with the quadra. The fall. Is it going to be the penta? Huni in the final game of their spring split gets a pentakill.
And Immortals are going to take the base. They're going to take that accolade of a quadra kill for the top lane Echo Huni, and they're going to take the record of most winningest team in the North American LCS and the best record in win rate.
21-12, 29 minutes in. Immortals takes down Impulse.
And now we know we're going to have at least a tiebreaker between TIP and Renegades for 8th, 9th. Dignitas can get in there with a win and make it for 8-9-10, but Immortals close out the split 17-1. And that